Here is the scary story of the nighttime babysitter and the clown. It was a quiet suburb. Rows of houses with trimmed hedges and porch lights flickering against the deep navy of night. At 8:17 p.m., the Simmons house was warm, cozy, and about to become a scene of true horror. 17-year-old Mara Jennings had just started her first job as a nighttime babysitter. Easy money. Just watch 6-year-old Ellie Simmons, keep her away from sugar, and put her to bed by 9 p.m. Simple, right? Mrs. Simmons was already putting on her earrings, purse slung over her shoulder. Ellie's already in her pajamas. There's pizza in the oven, she said, grabbing her keys. Oh, and don't worry about the clown statue in the upstairs playroom. It's an antique from my husband's collection. Just ignore it. Mara laughed nervously. Clown statue? Yeah, it's a little creepy, I know, Mr. Simmons added, chuckling as he opened the door. But hey, it's harmless. Just don't let Ellie play with it. With that, they were gone. The evening went smoothly. Ellie was sweet, the pizza was decent, and the house was filled with soft piano music from a Bluetooth speaker. By 8:45, Mara led Ellie upstairs to the playroom, a bright room filled with toys, books, and there it was. The clown statue, about 5 feet tall, hunched a little forward, hands oversized, painted lips stretched in a frozen grin. The eyes. God, the eyes. They followed you. Why do you keep it in here? Mara asked, a little unnerved. Ellie shrugged. Daddy says it keeps me company, but I don't like him. You name it? Ellie nodded solemnly. Mr. Jingles, he moves sometimes. Mara blinked. What? Only when I don't look. Mara laughed it off, though her stomach was now heavy with unease. She put Ellie to bed and came back downstairs, curling up on the couch with her phone. At 9:37 p.m., she heard a soft thump from upstairs. She froze. Then scrape, scrape, footsteps. She walked to the stairs, listening. Silence. Probably the house settling, she thought. At 9:44, her phone vibrated. A message from Ellie's number. But Ellie's phone was on the kitchen counter. The message read, Can you tell Mr. Jingles to stop staring at me? Mara's skin went cold. Heart pounding, she crept upstairs. The hallway was dim. Ellie's door was slightly ajar. Inside, the little girl was curled under her blanket, wide-eyed. He won't leave the corner, she whispered. Mara stepped into the playroom. The clown statue was still there, but it wasn't exactly where it was before. Its head now tilted just slightly. Was it closer to the window? Okay, Mara muttered. This thing is freaking me out. She took a throw blanket from the couch and tossed it over the statue. Then she closed the door. At midnight, Mara was dozing off on the couch when she heard a sound that shattered her sleep. Tap, tap, tap. On the window, she bolted upright. The curtain swayed gently. It was probably a tree. Then came a soft giggle. A child's giggle. Not Ellie's. Mara stood and crept toward the window. She pulled the curtain aside and saw nothing. But on the glass was a handprint. Small, smudged, red. She ran upstairs. No statue. The playroom door stood open. The blanket she had used to cover the clown was crumpled on the floor. And the statue? Gone! Panic now rising in her chest, she rushed into Ellie's room. Ellie was still asleep, but at the foot of her bed were oversized clown footprints. She grabbed Ellie, now fully awake and terrified, and ran to the hallway only to hear laughter. Deep, wheezy. Behind her, she turned. The clown was standing in the playroom doorway, still, silent. Then its head twitched. The call that never happened. Mara slammed the bedroom door shut, locked it, and dialed 911. Ring, ring. 911, what's your emergency? There's someone in the house, she whispered. It's dressed like a clown. I think it's alive. Silence. Then the operator said, Ma'am, we've received calls from this number before. You're at the Simmons residence? Yes. You need to get out. We've been trying to track this thing for weeks. That statue, it's not a statue. Click. The call dropped. The face in the dark. Mara turned, holding Ellie tightly. Then she heard the doorknob rattle, slow at first, then violently. And then it stopped. They waited in silence. 5 minutes. 10. Then Mara noticed something. In the dark room, Ellie's closet door was open, and from the shadows inside, 2 small white eyes blinked and smiled. By the time the police arrived an hour later, The house was empty. No sign of forced entry. No sign of Mara or Ellie. But on the wall of the upstairs playroom, written in smudged red handprints, were the words, "Don't leave me alone again." And sitting in the corner, back in its original spot, was the clown statue, smiling. And this time, its mouth was open, just enough to see teeth.